everyone, it's Maki. Do you like villainous Gundams? There are plenty of charismatic evil Gundams, like Gundam Prototype No. 2, Master Gundam Reborn's Gundam, and so on there today. I will introduce this Gundam that appears in Gundam Seed. His name is Calamity Gundam. The pilot's name is Older. Oops, my apologies. I made a mistake with the material. The pilot is Older. It's a ferocious Gundam, equipped with numerous powerful beam cannons, isn't it today? I'll proceed with the commentary on the Calamity Gundam. Calamity Gundam was born from the experience and they gained through the significant achievements of the Earth Alliance's GATX series. Tragically, the substantial successes of 4 units in the GATX series were perpetrated against the Earth Alliance by the Soft Forces, who had seized them. A massive defense corporation under the control of Murder Azrael was in charge of the development. The foundational framework of the mobile suit employed the X-100 series, which excels at recreating the flexible movement of the human body. It's a mobile suit that inherits the genes of Stray Gundam, Duo Gundam, and Buster Gundam. For a long period, Calamity Gundam was discussed as being a developmental unit of Buster Gundam. However, as time passed and numerous spin-off works were born, changes were observed in this setting. Calamity Gundam was also given a background as a base unit in the Rebuild 1416 program, a universal machine development plan. Following the huge success of the Striker Pack, a plan to refine its functions further and deploy it to actual combat was initiated. Calamity Gundam, which appears in the Gundam Seed story, is a unit that excels in bombardment, but units adept at melee combat like Sword Calamity and their combat like Air Calamity were also planned. Among them, a unit equivalent to Launcher Calamity was prioritized for development due to military requests being completed and deployed to the battlefield ahead of the others. In fact, the background of Calamity Gundam being developed as the successor to Stray Gundam has become stronger. Launcher Strike was developed with the concept of applying Buster Gundam's operational policy to Stray Gundam via the Striker Pack. Although quite complex, the setting of the unit as an evolution of Buster Gundam's concept is not incorrect. A significantly different point from the previous Generation X series is the Trans-Phase Armor. Phase Shift Armor was a revolutionary technology that provided robust defense against physical projectiles, including metal bullets. However, it also had the drawback of consuming extremely large amounts of power. Additionally, when the energy was depleted, the entire mobile suit's color would change, revealing to the enemy that energy levels were low. Trans-Phase Armor places Phase Shift Armor beneath the regular armor, and by utilizing sensors, allows it to transition to Phase Shift state only at the moment of impact. This greatly reduced the weight of energy consumption. Also, placing the Phase Shift Armor only around crucial areas, like the cockpit thrusters, and essential points for the mobile suit's movement has successfully reduced both energy usage and armor costs. Although it was an extremely innovative technology, Trans-Phase Armor doesn't appear much in stories, including Sea Destiny. Improvements in battery technology are often cited as a major reason. But Trans-Phase Armor had a critically significant flaw. This Phase Shift Armor cannot be sold as a model kit. This is an extremely serious flaw for Bandai and Sunrise. Also, the color manifestation mechanism of Phase Shift Armor provides beautiful animation effects and allows unique presentations in the Seed series Trans-Phase Armor. which negates these advantages, was inevitably fraught with numerous problems despite its revolutionary nature in the stories. The Calamity Gundam achieved astonishing firepower due to improved energy efficiency and the practical use of new weaponry including beam weapons by the GATX series. Moreover, compared to Buster Gundam, Calamity Gundam is approximately 3 tons lighter. The mobile suit managed to increase its offensive power, gain powerful thrust through robust thrusters, and achieved weight reduction simultaneously. Calamity Gundam can hover over the ground using propulsion energy. There's also a scene depicted where it joins Raider Gundam, which is engaged in combat with Freedom Gundam and Justice Gundam by jumping nearby. While it's often portrayed as a heavy-moving unit when appearing in games, observing its activity in the TV anime reveals that it's remarkably agile. Though characterized by highly advanced performance and multiple weenies with high attack power, Calamity Gundam's complexity in piloting is a weakness. Therefore, boosted man personnel who underwent specialized enhancement procedures for piloting mobile suits handle the operation. Additionally, some materials suggest that Calamity Gundam was envisioned to also assume command. Although it was a unit designed to assume both support through heavy firepower and unit command, due to the boosted men pilots having issues with their commanding abilities, no actions as a commander were depicted in the TV anime. The issues regarding boosted men will be explained in the next block. The boosted man is a human resources developed by the Earth's Allied forces to gain an advantage in the war against the coordinators. However, they are classified as biological central processing units, treated not as humans but as machine components. They are not those who are granted physical abilities surpassing those of coordinators through medication specialized training and psychological manipulation. Through surgery, machines called microimplants are embedded in their brains and various parts of their bodies, and they are further administered a specially formulated drug known as gamma-glymphaepin. This enhances their reflexes to the extreme, enabling them to handle the intense gravitational forces arising from the rapid acceleration of mobile suits and to respond to enemy threats with enhanced weaponry control. Furthermore, psychological control erases their fear in combat and also intensifies their ferocity towards the enemy. Gamma-glymphaepin acts like a narcotic in the brain, providing remarkable abilities while also giving excessive pressure, thus triggering a strong destructive impulse. This drug also causes withdrawal symptoms if not taken regularly. While this is a disadvantage, it also has a beneficial effect in preventing soldiers from deserting or betraying, as they are dependent on the drug. In fact, this drug is also used beneficially in medical scenes. In the book Mobile Suit Gundam See the RGB illustrations, an elderly Kazi Buskirk is shown to regularly use a drug called glymphaepin D to help him live comfortably in his daily life. Boosted men often come with the explanation that they have a significant impact on personality. However, within the scope depicted in the TV anime, some might feel that although they lack cooperation, there's no impression of total loss of humanity. A bit more information is added in the novel version. Scenes such as Olga Sayaka of Calamity Gundam witnessing the shooting down of Shea Andres, and the text during the scene where the Calamity Gundam is destroyed provide some explanations. Olga shows a surprised expression when witnessing Shea being destroyed. Viewers may think that Olga is shocked that his comrade was defeated. But in reality, Olga did not understand the concept of death at that moment. He had never imagined that they could die. In fact, Ogre and his team no longer had the ability to imagine anything at all. Calamity Gundam did not function as a command unit for this reason. Imagining situations that may arise and executing instructions to respond to them is the role of a commander. Boosted men did not have the capability to be commanders. It was not that they were lacking in capability, it was non-existent. Ogre, battling against freedom and justice, was feeling tremendous joy. He was exhilarated by the close combat. Ogre fought while being driven by the pure emotions of wanting to prey more, to destroy and to kill. And then justice, using media's beam saber, destroys the Calamity Gundam. What emotions do you think Ogre felt at that moment? Many viewers may have read surprise from his expression. In fact, at that moment, he was blissfully unaware of his own death, simply enveloped in joy. The downfall of the boosted man was the complete loss of human-like emotions. While their combat abilities were phenomenal, and research continued even after the battles of Gundam Seed, the improved models known as Extended, appearing in Seed Destiny, achieved a higher level of completion. They became capable of maintaining normal communication with regular humans, even conducting advanced conversations to masquerade as civilians, thus preventing military personnel from discovering their true nature. The unnerving element here is that the people, who despise coordinators as entities that have strayed from the natural order, willingly undertake human body modification, a thing that strays from the natural order, in order to bend their hatred and moreover mature this technology at a breathtaking speed. Let's explore the weapons equipped on the Calamity Gundam. Interestingly, it doesn't come with the head-mounted Vulcan guns, a staple in many Gundam models. This detail alone hints at its purpose to support allies with its firepower. It seems that he ignores close combat and prioritizes attack power. Firstly, we have the 337mm plasma Sayek bazooka cannon, dubbed Toslok. The name, in German, conveys meanings like execution block or mass of death. This weapon locks a small warhead in plasma energy and launches it at high speeds. It's capable of superheating the warhead and accelerating it remarkably, delivering both impact and explosive damage upon impact. Interestingly, the initial high-grade model's manual describes it as a beam cannon, a testament to how busy the TV and production staff must have been. As most of the Calamity Gundam's weaponry are beam weapons, it's one of the few physical projectile armaments it possesses. In the sequel, Gundam Seed Destiny, the Dawn Trooper disrupts enemy formations with the explosive blasts of a bazooka followed by the finisher, a beam cannon. Perhaps a similar operation was imagined for Calamity Gundam's bazooka. The back of the bazooka is equipped with a magazine, and some resources also mention a battery being integrated into the same part. Next, the 125mm twin high-energy long-range beam cannon, named Shuek. Shuek translates to strike, or lightning strike in German. While the Strike Gundam's beam rifle has a caliber of 57mm, the Shuek has over double that. Its massively large barrel is quite a sight to behold. A large capacity generator housed in the substantial backpack ensures high continuous firing capabilities, allowing it to unleash prolonged beams and destroy multiple enemies at once. Observing its action scenes, There seem to be no instances where the recoil restricts the mecha's movements, making it a potent high-speed, mobile artillery piece. Then, there's the 580mm multi-phase energy cannon, the Sealer. It's the exact same weapon, mounted on the Aegis Gundam, which dealt a significant blow to the Earth Alliance forces when hijacked. The extent of the damage also served as evidence that the Sealer's design concept was exceedingly accurate. An improvement includes the ability to fire without involving any specialized transformation process, which aligns with the Sealer's deployment method during the Aegis Gundam's conceptual phase in the real world. Its abundant energy allows for immediate firing, as demonstrated in close-quarters combat scenes. Lastly, the 115mm Twin Tusk Cannon, christened Kehr-Sui. Kehr means beetle, and Sui means two in German. Developed with reference to the armor of Saft's Loja-class battleship, it's a highly potent anti-beam shield, scenes depicted intersecting the Strike Gundam's Schwartgear. Considering the Schwartgear has scenes where it destroys a strike dagger along with its shield, being able to defend against it showcases remarkable defensive power. The sharp tip of the shield is designed for piercing attacks, but sadly no scene in the TV anime showed it being utilized as a striking weapon. Personally, I would have loved to see it pierce with the shield and fire the Kehr-Sui at close range. This type of attack method can be seen in some games. Opinions diverge on the built-in shooting weapons. Some say it's a beam cannon, while others insist it fires metal bullets. In Bandai's GE Generation series, both beam cannon and metal bullet variants exist. The company owning the Gundam series writes, "It wouldn't be strange to think both versions exist and are swapped according to purpose." In terms of reducing the mobile suit's weight, beam cannons may have more advantages. There are numerous scenes in which Calamity Gundam shines that I personally adore. Given that it makes its appearance in the latter part of the story, it doesn't feature in many episodes but plays a striking role when it does. Its first deployment in actual combat is in the Old Liberation Front. Despite being called the Liberation, it is essentially an invasion battle as well. Who propelled its development chose Orb as the opponent to test the Calamity Gundam, along with two other Gundams, for a reason. Orb, being a nation with one of the most formidable military powers on Earth, presented an attractive opponent for showcasing the capabilities of the new mobile suits. Even in the TV anime, they discuss how it would be problematic if they surrender too easily, as we won't be able to test the Gundams. Upon dispatch, Calamity Gundam coordinating with the other Gundams invades Orb. It destroys an Orb naval battleship with its initial strike. Massive explosions ensue, eliminating not only the weapons but also all personnel. It's evident that as a weapon of Blue Cosmos, it aims to not only win the war, but also eradicate the opponent. Distancing itself from Raider Gundam, Calamity Gundam engages in battle with Orb's mobile suits, one after another. The M1 Astrays are decimated by Ogre's rapid fire, unlike Forbidden Gundam and Raider Gundam, who commence battles with naval forces and Freedom Gundam respectively. Calamity Gundam smoothly carries out its invasion mission on Orb's mainland. Although the pilot, Ogre is often described as having less personality damage from drugs and human modification compared to the other two. Perhaps these characteristics manifest in such aspects. However, a scene arrives that reveals he does possess impaired judgment. New Love Flavor, witnessing the destruction of the M1 Astrays, challenges the Calamity Gundam. He goes against the Schwartz-Gear with his shield. Subsequently, he continuously fires his weaponry to prevent the approach of Perfect Strike Gundam. When Oga observes Forbidden Gundam and Raider Gundam struggling, he neglects Strike Gundam and begins to attack Freedom Gundam. Notably, Oga doesn't display any intent to assist his allies at this moment, but rather he laughs in a tone suggesting he's playfully engaging with an object that has caught his interest. Even later, Oga gets engrossed in battling Freedom Gundam and Justice Gundam, postponing the attack on O's mainland. Conversely, Moonlock Blade prioritizes destroying the Strike Dagger unit instead of persisting in chasing Calamity Gundam though subtle. This scene delineates the difference in decision-making abilities between the two. When the battlefield shifts to space, Calamity Gundam is assigned to the battleship Dominion. It battles Freedom and others there and plays a very crucial role in a historically significant moment rescuing Frey Ulster, who possesses the neutron Jammer Kero data. Securing Frey at this point enabled the Earth Alliance to offer honorary nuclear missiles. Calamity Gundam, bearing a name which means disaster or freight bringer, indeed brings a tremendously catastrophic event upon human history in the scene. It also fully displays its immense firepower when escorting the nuclear missile attack squad, safeguarding allies by defeating the Dark Assault Squad alongside the other Gundams, with just the 3 of them. In the end, Calamity Gundam is defeated by Freedom Gundam and Justice Gundam. It single-handedly challenges the two Gundams, indisputably the strongest duo of this era, equipped with Meteor. Even then, it manages to dodge the first beam Saber Strike, the technique of dodging a massive beam saber with minimal movement, while equipped with a lengthy beam cannon and bazooka is astonishing. However, in the moment following its evasion, Justice Gundam's giant beam saber bisects Calamity Gundam. That concludes our overview of the Calamity Gundam. Mobile suits with high firepower are indeed quite attractive, aren't they? While Gundams heavily armed with missiles and machine guns have their own allure, there's a distinct charm to a Gundam like the Calamity Gundam, which is equipped with a plethora of beam weapons. The mobile suit itself was developed as a versatile machine, which adds an intriguing backdrop. Especially the Sword Calamity, it has garnered substantial popularity as a variation model appearing outside the main TV anime. Interestingly, in the planning stage, the Calamity Gundam was intended to appear about 1.5 times larger than when it did make its debut in the TV anime. This plan was not adopted due to issues related to the commercialization of the plastic model, resulting in it appearing in a size no different from other mobile suits. This plan was later incorporated in the form of the Destroy Gundam in the sequel, See Destiny. In my personal opinion, the Calamity Gundam seems cooler when it is about the same size as the other Gundams. The sight of it firing so many beam cannons, despite its similar size to other units, is indeed fascinating. Now then, I'll have you board the Calamity Gundam next. It's a difficult machine to pilot, but not to worry. We'll provide ample support to ensure even beginners can get on board confidently. First, please press the channel subscribe button and ingest the Gamma Grian. It helps manage complex weaponry accurately and alleviates the gravitational effects due to the machine's movement. Then press the like button to get into the cockpit and activate it with the bell button. Now let's go! It's time to depart for a battle to safeguard the peace of space alongside the Peacemaker Squad. For the sake of a blue pristine world, do your best.